Welcome back to the Corner of Craft. It is time for another crafty chat. Crafty Chat is a weekly podcast where I show you the things that I've been knitting, that I've been crocheting, that I've been working on generally in my crafty life, all while chatting and drinking tea. Hence the craft tea chat, because I'm a little obsessed with tea. Just a touch. Just a touch, but I've just made my tea, so I can't have a drink of it because it's the temperature of the sun. Not quite, but you get my drift. Welcome, as I've said. If you are new to the Corner of Craft, hello. My name is Hannah, as I've already said, and I am coming at you today from Nottingham in England, which is kind of Midlands in the UK, in England. What else? It's a relatively nice day today, quite bright. It's not forecast to rain, so that's always good. And I'm British, so obviously talk about the weather. If you are coming back to my channel, thanks for coming back. I'm glad that you enjoy my podcast enough to come back week after week. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much for that. If you'd like to follow me on social media, feel free. I have some. I predominantly use Instagram the most, but I've also started to get back into Snapchatting, mainly because I've got a new phone and Snapchat filters are very entertaining. Who knew? I also have a Ravelry group for this podcast, so feel free to pop on over to Ravelry and either search for the Crafty Chat podcast or just click the link in the description box below this video and it will take you to there. In the podcast group, you will find a full list of all of the things that I talk about in every podcast, my podcast notes as it were, and they are a time-consuming thing to do, so hopefully it helps you out. Also, you will find any threads for any giveaways that happen to be happening, and also for any knit-alongs or crochet-alongs that I am hosting. And speaking of knit-alongs and crochet-alongs, I am co-hosting the Vintage Sweater Cowl or Vintage Jumper Cowl with Meg of Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. This is happening until the 31st of October. It started on the 31st of August. It is basically you knit or crochet, because I've just been saying knit and I realised you can also crochet these things. Knit or crochet a vintage style sweater, think Andy Satterland style, kind of, you know, in at the waist, 3/4 length sleeves or what have you. Meg and I both have threads in our Ravelry group, so feel free to head on over there if you have any further questions. Whips are allowed, but we do ask that they are 50% done or less. And if you have any prizes that you wish to donate to the knit along, feel free to get in contact with me. You can either send it directly to the winner from where you are, or you can send it to me and I can distribute it. It is entirely up to you, but if you'd like to donate a prize, let me know and we can arrange that. So let's actually get on with the podcast. First things first, finished things. I have actually finished something. It's only small. It was almost done last time I showed you, so it's not that big of a deal, but I finished another baby hat and I didn't knit as much on the top. I just did a little nubbin. Yes, this is the super stretchy baby hat by Julia Tasha. Really easy hat to knit in around 3.25mm needles. I did a magic loop. It is pretty stretchy. My cousin is having a baby and the baby is due knit Christmas, so I thought I'd knit some hats for it. I say it because we don't know what flavour it is yet. But yes, this is my own hand-dyed yarn, one of the experimental skeins I did, but I have a bit more about the selling of my hand-dyed yarn coming a little bit later. It's just this real nice blue with like speckles and stuff. I like it, I'm a fan. But yeah, finished thing. Also, I have a finished thing from before we moved. but I hadn't shown you because I couldn't find it, and then I found it this morning actually in a box because I'm not fully unpacked still. But I did another pair of Afterthought heel socks, and this was my second attempt, and I still don't like doing it because it involves maths, and my maths was wrong. So the foot's too long, but the cuff is quite short. But I mean, they fit, they're just a bit big, so they do the job. This is the Anne and Carlos yarn by Regia in the Island colourway, I believe. But yeah, this was my last attempt at an Afterthought heel, and I don't think I'll be doing it again. But the yarn is very pretty. I knit this on my holiday when we went to Alsace, I believe. But yes, I just hadn't found them, but now I found them. So that's a whip from, no, that's a finished thing from a while ago. So yeah, it's been quite light on the knitting this week. I've been a bit obsessed with one particular project, and I've been beading a lot because the Volca kits that we released, we being Becky of Soprano Knits, who released the Volca sock pattern, and Gabby of Once Upon a Corgi Yarns, or Once Upon a Corgi, her hand-dyed yarn company, and myself, I bead stitch markers. We did a little collaboration together and made the Volca sock kit. Now, this was potentially the most amazing week or Friday update I've ever known of, or anything involving my stuff, I suppose. I don't know how to explain this. Basically, we put 32 kits on Gabby's shop, and they completely sold out within an hour. So that is incredible, absolutely incredible, and a little overwhelming and amazing. So Gabby has put pre-orders up. 2 of the colourways have sold out as of recording. There are still 2 colourways left. I will quickly double check that. But I have a lot of clouds to bead for said pre-order. So that's kind of taken over my life a little bit, but no complaints here. Yes, there are still 2 colourways available in Gabby's shop for pre-order. Let's see how many. There are 3 available of 1. And the other, there are 5 available. So there are only 8 pre-order slots available left. So if you want to grab yourself one of these kits, just head on over to Gabby's shop at onceuponacorgi.com and get your pre-order in. And I will continue to bead clouds like, well, like it's my job, because it is. So let's actually move on to whips now and stop me talking about anything but. So my project bags at the moment aren't actually project bags, and I should really rectify this, but when I was a bridesmaid at my best friend's wedding in April, she gave us all little tote bags with our names on. So in my Hannah bag, this is the thing that I'm a bit obsessively knitting on. And my lovely hand wound ball of yarn. My phone just buzzed, so great. Oh, 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 good. Didn't drop any stitches. Should have scooted them across after knit night on Tuesday. I haven't knit this, didn't knit this yesterday, because I thought, give another project a whirl. So I actually finished the baby hat. So this is the We Were Seeds shawl by Cassandra Rizzardi. Apologies if I mispronounced that. Also known as Rizza Knits. And it is a one skein shawl pattern. Quite like it. I spoke to you last week about this rolling edge, and some people suggested slip stitching it, so I unpicked it and slip stitched it, the edge, and then I'd done that wrong, so I unpicked that and I slip stitched the edge and had done it right, and then it was still curling, so I unpicked it and just knit it and thought it'll block out. So I put my progress keeper approximately where I was last time. And yes, that is a birthday candle because it's my birthday in 10 days. So basically it's my birthday month, which means I can have a birthday candle on my project. And this is the thing I've been a bit obsessively knitting on. So the yarn is Kettle Yarn Company. I put the thing in, did I? I didn't. It is, yes, Kettle Yarn Company on the Islington base, which is a BFL silk blend, and in the colourway Siren Call. And this was a fantastic Christmas present from my wonderful boyfriend. And he's been pestering is the wrong word, but I can't think of the right one right now. Pestering me to knit with this yarn, and I've been trying to explain to him, would you rather me knit something that I never wear, or would you rather me wait, find the perfect project for it, and then knit something amazing? And then he backed off. And then Riza Knits came out with this pattern, and I thought, yeah, that's the perfect pattern. I found it. So I had a bit of confusion to start with because it starts with a seed stitch, which in the UK we call moss stitch, and I thought that this was the front of the seed stitch. And then I was informed by fantastic Becky when I asked for help regarding a chart that this actually was the front. So this is the first time, it's not the first time I'm using a chart because I have used a chart for Becky's Towner socks. They came with a chart. But this is the first time I'm using a chart where there are no written instructions. Let's say that. So I got a bit confused because basically the construction of this is super cool. So you knit all of this bottom bit, and then you cast on some more stitches here, and then you do what I imagine is an applied border, because I've never done an applied border before. But you knit this bit flat, this cabley bit, you knit this bit flat, and then knit the last stitch of the pattern together with one of the stitches from this bit all the way across, and then you pick up all of the stitches along the top of the cable and start knitting the lace work. It's a very clever construction, never done anything like it before, but I love it. So let's get up close and personal with this. So we've got a lovely cable, which I'm very proud to say don't seem to have messed up on. And then we have this fantastic lace. It's my first time doing like major lace. And it's not a complicated lace pattern at all. It's very easy. It's a 12 row repeat, I believe. But like the rows repeat themselves. I messed up along here at some point. I can't, maybe down here. Something looks wrong down here. But it's not noticeable enough to, I'm sorry, my needles are clanging on my chair. It's not noticeable enough to me to want to rip it out and rectify it. I know that my mum definitely would, but it's not enough of a problem to me to have that. But yeah, they're meant to look like tiny leaves, and I can see it. I like it. It's a really interesting construction. Bit obsessed with knitting it. Excited to get on to the next bit, but I've still got a couple more repeats of the lace. That's the word I wanted. A couple of repeats of the lace to do. So yeah, very excited. Been knitting this super obsessively. I was about here on Saturday, and so I didn't knit this. Oh, I knit this Tuesday, I suppose. I was going to say I didn't knit this all day on Tuesday, but that is a lie because I went to knit night and knit on it Tuesday. Hand wound ball of yarn, really enjoying knitting from it, hated winding it, so there's that. But like I said, it's my birthday soon, and I have asked for a ball winder in Swift, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get one soon. If not, I'll buy one myself. But yeah, I really, really love it. I just showed you the back. I really love it. I think it's ace. It's a beautiful pattern. It's an easy pattern, because I always think I'm a beginner knitter, but I don't think I am anymore. I'd say it's not a super difficult pattern. It's got enough going on in it so you don't get bored of it because it changes every so often. This yarn is delightful. It's so soft and so drapey. And this is my first time knitting with silk, so maybe this is common of silk. It goes a little bit fluffy. It went fluffy in the skein, and it's going a little bit fluffy, but that's fine. I just really like it. Real proud of myself. Pop that back away. So, I need a sip of tea. On Saturday, my local yarn shop, Knit Nottingham, celebrated their 7th anniversary of being open. So I went and sat and knitted for a bit, so that was super cool. Met some lovely people. Knit Nottingham. And the reason that this project that I'm about to show you isn't in the project bag is because it's the biggest ball of yarn I've ever seen. This is my entry, not really a contribution, who knows, to the Vintage Sweater Cow that I am co-hosting. Oh, that swatch though. I mean, I don't know if this yellow is good on my skin tone. Everyone says that yellow isn't good on their skin tone, so now I'm a little bit concerned about knitting a full cardigan in this colour, but I don't really care because I love mustard. But this is the biggest ball of yarn I've ever seen, which is why it's in a tote bag. Yeah, it's bigger than my head, and I have a really big head. I measured my head the other day. I have a 59 centimetre diameter head. That's ridiculous. But yes, I bought this huge ball of yarn, which is bigger than my head. I was walking around the shop cradling it like a baby. I had to take the ball band off because I couldn't find the centre of the yarn and I didn't want to have to pull it all out. So I took the ball band off and I'm going from the outside, which part of me hates, but that's fine. Because the ball band already had a rip in it, so I never wanted to, I didn't want to pull because it would have ripped this anyway. But this is, it's just a commercial yarn. We can't be yarn snobs all the time. This is Hayfield Bonus Aran. It is an 80% acrylic, 20% wool, 400 grams. It is machine washable. But yeah, it's Aran weight. 840 meters. It is in the shade 0768, which I believe is called mustard. But yeah, I've started knitting. So I am going to be making, just realised I haven't said, the Anouk cardigan by Andy Satterland. And this has been something that I've wanted to knit since I went to Edinburgh Yarn Festival in March. Yes, March. But I never found the yarn that I was going to get for it. So this cow is the perfect excuse. And yeah, I did a swatch because I'm a good knitter. And I got gauge first time, so that is very satisfying. And this yarn is very soft for an acrylic. I guess acrylic is much better than it used to be, so I can't really say anything. But I only started this yesterday and knit on it for maybe an hour. Less than an hour. Less than. Every little moustache. I don't get lipstick on it, so I'm not going to do that again. But it's really cool. So this is the neck, I believe. Like, boop. I'm knitting the medium size. Because I'm a bit awkward. I'm awkwardly between the medium and the large. So I've gone for the medium size because I want to lose weight. So hopefully by the time this jumper is finished, I will have done. But it's cool because it's knit in stocking stitch, and then it's got these cool pearl details, and it looks really awesome. A little reminiscent of the Volca socks. but no, wrong ones, Towner socks. But you knit back and forth on it, and I don't mind purling, so that's not an issue for me. This yarn is very nice to knit with. I'm using 5mm needles, my higher sharp interchangeables, which is also what I'm using for my Weaver Seeds shawl. And my foot's going dead. Ooh, let me move that then. But yeah, it's really pretty. Come on, don't focus up there, focus on this. And I've got some stitch markers on it. So those ones were gifted, and these ones are the Corner of Craft made. But yeah, really, really enjoying it. And yes, that is the joy of these lever back earring wires being used as clasps for stitch markers. My goodness, I cannot get comfortable today. For stitch markers, is because I don't want to clang on my metal chair. You can actually use them as normal stitch markers. They slide with ease over at 5mm needles. So, multifunctional. But yeah, I love this. I'm really excited to finish it. Hopefully it will get done for a wedding that I'm going to in October, and I can wear it for then. But I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to enjoy it. Because what I tend to do with my knitting projects, that's very close, Hannah. What I tend to do with my knitting projects is I tend to blast through them, knit them obsessively, and then they're done. And then, yeah. Whereas what I think I need to do is have a couple more things on the needles, have a few more things that I'm knitting, and don't be so obsessive about it and make less progress on each thing each week, but have a variety of things that I'm knitting, you know? And because I don't have a printer at the moment, which will soon be rectified because I ordered a printer yesterday, which should make packaging and shipping things much more streamlined. Because I didn't have a printer, I never printed out patterns, so I could never make notes on where I was. So I tend to just go balls to the wall and knit. Excuse that, sorry, that's a terrible expression. But I did tend to go balls to the wall and knit obsessively on something, purely so I wouldn't forget what piece of the pattern I was on. And yeah, I totally just missed my mouth trying to drink just then, so. But this project leads me directly into fattening up my stash, or stash enhancements. And I treated myself, and I shouldn't have done, when I went to Knit Nottingham. Eleanor, who's the owner of Knit Nottingham, has started selling some of her hand-dyed yarn, and I saw this skein and thought, that's a really nice colour. So I got it, and it's called Jelly Babies. And there's her logo, Knit Nottingham. Jelly Babies. It is 75/25 superwash merino and nylon, although it says hand wash only. But I'm imagining it's superwash yarn because I know where she buys her yarn base from. And I think they only do superwash. But I trust that it's superwash. It's really cool. It's pink and it's got some of that mustard yellow in, because I was walking around cradling that giant ball of yarn with this on top, just like da da da, and everyone said, oh, they look nice together. But obviously not going to be used together. It is a 4-ply yarn. It's got some blues and stuff in. So I'm thinking, that jumper that I was going to knit that I'm now not knitting, that hoodie shawl cardigan, bane of my life hoodie shawl cardigan, is definitely now going to become a mild magic. Definitely. And I thought this goes with it. It lightens it up a little bit. And kind of goes with that a bit, and or if I don't use that one, I can put these together with some greys, you know, because yeah, I'm definitely going to be knitting a mild magic. I just need to finish some other things first, because Kristen of Villain Vine and Laura, not Lara, I've realised I mispronounced, I thought your name was Lara, sorry, it's Laura, of Jinx Yarns, are co-hosting a Mild Magic cowl. So I want to hop in on that even if I don't finish by 31st of October. So many things I want to knit. So many things I want to knit. But yeah, that is all I have for fattening up my stash. That giant ball of yarn and that skein of yarn, which I've now just put away. So let's swiftly move into Etsy update. This week's Etsy update is going to be a bit smaller than previous Etsy updates. I've not been feeling 100% this week. Either it's mentally or I'm coming down with a cold, but my body refuses to actually let it be a cold. So it's just letting me feel exhausted and unenthused all the time. I'm unsure as to what it is, but I took a day off of beading Monday afternoon and then Tuesday, which is a bit risky and probably shouldn't have done. But it has meant that I haven't got as much beaded this week as I would have liked. But I am still having an update tomorrow, thecornerofcraft.etsy.com. Links in the description box below. I make beaded stitch markers. They are super cute, if I dare say so myself. But I do intend on having some more things in the shop other than the things I'm just about to show you. So Halloween is coming up. So we have little sugar skulls, or skulls with flower crowns. I suppose they're not sugar skulls, really. Because spring and summer have left, I've gone to the classic rabbit instead of rabbit with a flower. And I've only got white rabbits because they were the colours that went the best before. Ooh, throwing them everywhere. I have some black and white sheepies. I have some really cute rainbow sheepies. If it will focus. Yeah, there we go. Rainbow sheepies. I'm showing these in potentially the most awkward way. And then I have some really cute pumpkins. Because it's Halloween soon. But I fully intend on making some more foxes because they seem to go very well. I intend on making some more white chickens because they seem to be going very well. And also some ghosts that are holding little pumpkins because it's almost Halloween. So I thought, why not? And I have already been thinking about Christmas and I have a few more collaborations with various people in the works. So that is very exciting. As you may or may not know, I also intend on imminently launching a yarn dyeing brand company. So I just wanted to show you the two sample skeins that I dyed using some samples that I was sent from a dyer, and I realised I made a boo-boo on one because the string was tied too tight and the dye didn't get underneath, but hey, we learn by doing. So this is a superwash nylon BFL, no, superwash BFL nylon blend, and it's difficult to get an accurate colour. Cut that, that is kind of the accurate colour. Let's try and get it to focus on the thing. So yeah, this is obviously where I made a boo-boo, but that's okay. But it's turquoise and purples. I like it, I like it. And then, in the same pot, same time, same dyes. I'm gonna do this for a reason. This is the non-superwash BFL and Massam. And I realised that when I knit my Blue Hour sweater, I was calling it Masham. It's not, it's Massam. So that's me told. And it looks very much like the yarn that I used for various projects, one of them being my Blue Hour sweater, but I used the exact same techniques, the exact same amount of dye. I thought I'd felted this, so I reskeined it in a really awkward way because I don't have a reskeiner, I don't have a ball winder, and it's just a bit sticky, or it was just a bit sticky, potentially from being wet. But yeah, I love it. I think it looks cool. But I've also learned what I did wrong when I was dyeing it. So thanks, Kristen, for your help. I feel a bit like a moron. So this weekend, I've set myself a deadline because I keep putting it off because it's super intimidating. This weekend, I will be buying all the yarns and dyes and everything that I need to start doing this. It's just a little bit intimidating, and also because I want to stock a range of bases means I want to buy from different suppliers, and a lot of suppliers have a minimum quantity of 5 kilos, which is 50 skeins of yarn, which to some of you who are already successful yarn dyers doesn't sound that much, but for someone who doesn't know if this is actually going to sell, it's a little intimidating, but also exciting. So hopefully Prismatic Spray is just around the corner, which is what my yarn dyeing is going to be called, because it's going to be in colourways based on Dungeons and Dragons, because I'm a huge nerd and I'm not ashamed of it. So, life. Not done an awful lot this past week. Been beading lots. On Saturday, like I said, I went to Knit Nottingham and I sat and I chilled out and chatted with a lot of lovely ladies there. Sat and knitted and helped Eleanor celebrate her shop's 7-year anniversary of opening. Blah, 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 blah. For some reason words weren't happening then. And then Tuesday I went to Knit Night, which was a lot of fun. Other than that, I've just been beading a lot, and I've been listening to podcasts quite a lot. So, as I mentioned, I play Dungeons and Dragons, or as you may have gleaned, I play Dungeons and Dragons, and actually we've had 2 D&D sessions since I last saw you, and the last one we had is potentially the best one that we've had with this group of people, which was really, really cool. We're all getting much more into it now, which is very exciting, and one of our friends has joined us and has started playing, so that is even more exciting. And there is a series through Geek and Sundry, which is a channel on YouTube and a website and blog, called Critical Role, and it's where voice actors, they meet up once a week and they play Dungeons and Dragons all together, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's so much fun, and the sound effects that these people can make is very impressive. But these are videos that come out weekly, and I started watching it from about episode 30, which means there are 30 episodes that I haven't really watched. And they've started to release the earlier episodes as podcasts, which is so cool. So that is what I'm listening to. If you see me walking around Nottingham city centre with my headphones in, not listening to music, I'm listening to people play Dungeons and Dragons. But, oh, excuse me, I highly recommend it. It's kind of basically like an audiobook, if you think about it. It's no different from an audiobook. Well, I suppose it is a bit different from an audiobook, but it's kind of like an audiobook. But I'm really, really enjoying it at the moment. I've also been watching The Office, the US edition, because I cannot stand the UK version, which is weird. Usually I prefer the originals, and I don't find, that's not true, I was going to say I don't find American comedy that funny. Oh, it's not my sense of humour, but that's not true, so that's a redundant statement to make. But I've been watching The Office a lot because I realised I haven't watched seasons 8 and 9, so I thought, why not start from the beginning? And I'm on season 8. And I've also, and I hate myself for this so much, but at the same time, can't help it. I have been watching The Only Way is Essex, which is on Netflix in the UK, which is a reality TV series. Reality. I mean, it says that they're all real, but some of it has been set up purely for your entertainment, which makes you question what's real and what's not, but that's fine. I've been watching The Only Way is Essex on Netflix. So it's a reality TV show based in the county of Essex, which is just outside of London. And all of I imagine it's kind of a bit like Real Housewives, but I've never seen that, so I can't say for certain. But they're all quite glamorous, and they've all had various plastic surgeries done, and I just really enjoy it, and I don't really know why. but my goodness, some of these boys that get all of these girls, they are horrible people. Or they're portrayed to be horrible people. They might not actually be horrible people. But I just don't understand how they managed to get all of these girls. But that's fine. So that is a little bit of what I'm watching at the moment. I've never done a what I'm listening to or what I'm watching. I've never really done that before. So that's fun. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. That's everything I have to say. Went a bit off topic at the end, apologies. Wasn't intending to talk about the Critical Role podcast or The Only Way is Essex. Never ever should admit that I watched The Only Way is Essex. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It literally takes 2 seconds for you to do and helps to get my video out there into the world and seen by more people. And as this is a source of income for me, the more people that watch my videos, the better. Don't forget to subscribe if that is something that you're interested in. I post a new podcast every week, and next week I'm probably going to be quite excited because it's almost going to be my birthday and I'm going to be a bit hyperactive. But that's okay. If you wish to follow me on social media, feel free. You're always welcome. Send me a message if you fancy it. Don't forget to check out the Ravelry group for a full list of everything that I've talked about and links to patterns and whatnot. And also, I was going to say something else. Ooh, I am so excited to see all of your contributions to the knit along. Oh, I'm very excited. I think it will be awesome. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in next week's video.